Danny and Q. We're two friends with nothing and everything to say.
And now we're inviting you into the conversation.
Welcome
to
to
Randomly
Randomly
Speaking.
Speaking.
What's up? Welcome back.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Q. What we got today?
Where we randomly speak on stuff.
Well, we turned our Yep Fest into our Randomly Speaking podcast.
That part.
Random yaps.
Yep.
Man, I am having a pain though, like on my under like my leg, butt, hip area down there. Like it's hard to explain.
Do you need a stretch?
I probably do need to do some stretching, but I'm due for a massage. I am overdue for a massage, and
I haven't had one in a minute either.
Oh, I am overdue for a massage. That is.
I want them to come to my house though. That's where I'm at in life right now, so they can come to my house.
Oh yeah, you can look online. I've seen a lot of like recommended mobile massage therapists. So if you really get online, even if you look on those places like now they're not totally fraud proof, but
what you about to send me?
No, how I get my hair cut? Booksy.
Oh, Styleseed.
I use Booksy now, but Styleseed is actually good too. The only thing with Styleseed is you still want to, make sure that you're paying attention to who you booking with and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I had Styleseed before, but I now started using Booksy because that's how I ended up finding Junior's barber, and then I found my barber on there. So
yeah, I did mine.
More barbers are on there.
Yeah, because I did mine through Styleseed. I found one through Styleseed, so I have a consultation with her tomorrow. But she's barber and she does locks in case I want to get my hair relocked or something. So I figured she could help me.
So is this for you to go and figure out what you're gonna do with your hair again? Are you
No, I just needed like keep me shaped up. At first I had the side shave when I first did my big chop.
Oh, okay.
So they're growing out. So this part horrible. Just interrupting. So this part's long. You gotta get the back, and then my sides or whatever. Make it look cute.
Oh yeah.
This is like the wildest I've let my hair just be, I guess.
Oh, it always looks good though. Your hair looks cute though. So you do well with like the styles that are normally in between. Me, because I feel like I love my face, but because I feel like I have my face is not necessarily a girly face to me. So I feel like
have a boy face. You think you have a boy face?
I just feel like it's kind of neutral. Like you can you cannot know depending on especially when you have
androgynous being.
Maybe, but I feel like I'm not totally there yet. So it might be a little place where you can meter into it, Now, I don't worry about people mistaking me for a man, because if you see my face,
or no, it's not even androgynous anymore. Are you supposed to say non-binary? Is that non-binary?
No.
What's androgynous?
Androgynous, I think, is the when you look a certain way. Yeah, the non-binary thing is when people identify as nothing. Man, we ain't gonna. I don't even know.
Okay. I don't know. I just know I'm gay.
I stick with the one that I know, and that's transgender, and that's like my child. That's it. Look, the rest of them,
I just know I'm gay. I'm a lesbian, gay. I understand those terms.
I feel like I don't feel like it ever really has to come. People force it to come up to me. I don't see no reason why it has always been. I have never in my life ever had this many had conversations about people's sexuality or their gender. Like I've never had to do that. I just never. I'm like, why does it have to be an intentional conversation? Like, who you think is thinking about that? Like, I've always been a short-haired girl though, so I went all my life. People who are even kind of nasty when they want to try to say you look like a boy, even when you don't think so. Like even when I was a little kid, people, I wasn't a little girl with earrings and stuff, and I was a little kid with a bald head, my hair cut short. After years later,
right?
And I'm just whatever kids who ain't got no money who get their clothes secondhand got on, and people would try to call me a little boy or whatever, but it is what it is, man.
It's okay. I can tell you're not a boy.
Me too. And shit, this one thing I tell people, it's nothing you can really say to bring me, like make me feel like I'm not cute or something. I know I'm not society like I'm not what society thinks is beautiful, but like so when society recognizes me as beautiful, it's like, oh, it's flattering. But don't
Mm.
worry, because I'm still over here feeling like, damn, you know, you could do something with this, but you still cute. Like just because I need my hair done, I don't feel ugly. Just because I don't have makeup on, like I don't feel like I'm not one of those people. Like when everything is all natural, I still don't feel like, oh my God, I'm the worst.
Yeah.
I don't. I feel like I'm looking at my face. So I do.
Yeah.
If things I want, if things
Yeah.
that I want to change, or things that can be changed or can be improved on, like, oh man, I could have my teeth could be cleaner. I could probably, um, do things so I wouldn't have so many, like maybe when I had hormonal acne like crazy. But you know,
Mm.
but shit, but you know how what my skin the way it is with me not doing nothing. I let that hormonal acne kick my ass for a whole year. Even when I look back on pictures, sometimes I be so embarrassed. I'm like, how did y'all walk around with me with all the acne on my face? I had never had acne in my whole, and I didn't even have teenager acne.
Oh wow. So you just had it. And I
My
don't have
first
like
time having acne was 39 to 42.
yeah. And I had very
Man,
little growing up. But my
like,
mom, she sold Mary Kay. And so you know what comes along with Mary Kay? You the guinea pig on everything. But I had a whole face routine, I think, elementary, middle school, whenever she started selling it. I think when I was in middle school. So I already had a whole face routine. People ask me what's wrong with me now. I gotta have something to clean my face. But she couldn't get me with a makeup joint. She tried so hard to give me a makeover when I turned like 16 or something.
yeah.
I was like, no, I put on a flannel and some baggy shorts, and we in the Azores, and it probably was hot. I don't know. And I went about my business.
A flannel though?
Yeah, I was wearing flannels. I look cute with them. Leave me alone.
You did?
Leave me alone.
You look
I look
cute.
I look cute in my flannels and my shorts and stuff.
Cool. I like a
But
flannel now that,
I
now
don't
I'm in my
understand.
40s, but
Yeah,
then I
I
don't
don't
know about
understand why my
you
mom
know,
used
when
to
I
be
was a
like,
kid, I didn't care what I wore. Actually, everything I got was secondhand or from somebody or whatever. I didn't care what I put on.
yeah.
I was definitely polka dots and stripes at some point in my life. So I had an older sister, so she kept me straight, for main part. But
Mm-mm.
yeah,
I was the oldest, and I was dressing like a little boy, and that's why I said I don't understand why my mom all shocked now. I tried the girl thing. I tried it a couple times in my life too to be.
you
And
look cute though.
you
You
saw
did,
me
you
in
did
high
look cute,
school.
but I didn't. But even it wasn't like I didn't feel like it was different for you. Like some people feel like they have to present a certain way, like lesbians have to present a certain way to be like a stud or whatever, or these labels they put on themselves. But
Mm,
you easily wore everything well, and it was not even a like, she's dressing like this. Like I looked at you and was like, oh, she's dressing like what the world called us. But back then, I didn't say shit like that anyway. So
yeah,
like a stud or like whatever. You saw my friends, like I don't know.
yeah.
I'm like, but it wasn't. It was no thought for me. But I was just like, you did the dress thing well.
Hey, I was so uncomfortable. I had always, even as a kid, I would cry when my mom would make me wear skirts and stuff and dresses
Mhm.
and stuff. I would like literally like cry. And then it's okay. I've always been a tomboy. I've always, and so maybe not understanding it as a kid or whatever, just like, but that's how I was comfortable. And even whenever I first talked to my son and he was in elementary about me being gay and stuff,
Yeah.
and then I was like, what do you think? He's like, it's pretty cool. He was like, you're a tomboy and you play basketball with me and stuff. And so it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. And I love you. And nobody better say anything about you. He in elementary and he's rocked like that ever since. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, so as far as the clothing, it wasn't even, it was, for me, it was never what I thought I was supposed to look like. I was just more comfortable
Yeah.
dressing like that, dressing
I've
out the men's section,
worn everything.
Huh?
I've worn everything. I've always been. It's either been all the way down or all the way up. I'm the most. My closet is very overdressed for somebody who never leaves the house. Like like literally when I say I don't have no clothes, people don't understand. I don't have any clothes because if I put on what I have to wear, really outside of these tights and t-shirts,
Yeah.
we going to fucking prom, dude. We going
And
out. We gotta be
I was
or we
gonna
going. I
say,
mean, it's got the club or something, but whatever it is, it's not gonna be. It's not casual wear at all. Like
yeah.
when I put this on, and I have a closet. Really, I got a closet full of like a lot of sexy date night dresses for dates that I wanted to go on that I never went on. A lot of them got tags on them. That's embarrassing to say, but a lot of them
I
have
was gonna
tags.
say you could pop a tag when your friend come to visit, but it's not even gonna. I got you. I got the perfect outfit for you for when your friend comes to visit.
Listen,
I'm gonna get you some Dickies or something.
never mind, because he go listen and I don't have to be like, why you told her?
No, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be serious for a minute. Let me be serious.
But shoot, for real. I do have a closet full of date night, sexy ass dresses too. One time I thought about giving them away because I was like, am I gonna really be dating like that? Maybe I should find somebody who would like to enjoy these dresses. But see, I'm so connected with my clothes that I don't want to just give you if these my dresses, put them on. Let me see in that thing, girl. Like I don't want you to just get my dresses and they go to your closet too. Like if I release them to you, go out here and do what I would do with them. Show your ass, show out, okay? Show out. If you take these dresses, you have to show out. If not, don't take them. You know what I'm saying? These are not.
And I'm just looking forward to having the one that's just gonna show out and everything. And I'm just gonna be sitting there like, but you know what? I gotta let anybody know who I'm with. I'm about to show out. As soon as I get my 6-pack abs, they're gonna be like, why you keep pulling your shirt up, man? Why? I was like, I had an itch. I'm gonna be walking around like I'm going to the beach every day. Oh, every day. They're like, what you doing? You going to the beach? I'm like, nah, dude, see my ass, man.
Dude, some abs pop through here. Y'all would never not see a crop top. Y'all would
never tell me nothing.
Y'all would never not see a crop top. And as much as I hate the winter, under that hoodie is a crop top. So when I get inside, I can take my hoodie off to my crop top.
Well, I'm gonna go skiing. I'm gonna put my stuff on once I get to the slopes and stuff. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, just that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Like if you fall down on the slopes, I'm like, oh man. They're like, really? Your clothes came off while you was
Nobody complained. Nobody complained when I was flexing my fat rolls around, so don't complain later. Dude, I have never stopped flexing. So when my flat rolls was out, y'all didn't say nothing. So don't say nothing when everything is tucked and tight and in.
Look, man. So this is the beauty of living on your own, living by yourself and everything. The other day, like after I came back from working out and all that stuff, I'm trying to cool down, so taking my vitamins, all that stuff, making my protein shake. Then I decide I'm standing there in my kitchen taking naked selfies and stuff to see how my body's lining up with all these workouts and everything. I look back on my pictures. I said, it really do look like I'm trying to do an advertisement or something. So I'm drinking the protein shake, like, taking whatever. I was
naked
like,
protein.
Right. So now I'm like, nobody can hold my phone because I'm not deleting
them for your. Okay.
Huh? Yeah.
I'm saying just in case I need to use them for your OnlyFans.
You can't. No, not these ones. The next set. But
I'm gonna start me up. Oh, that's what I can do.
What?
A workout progression OnlyFans.
That could work.
If I close my garage and
I'm sure because people gonna be walking past.
If I close my garage and then on my OnlyFans shirt crop top is gonna be, or I start out wearing t-shirts because I don't know if I'm ready to show out this good. But sometimes I wear sports bra to run in, so I don't care. I tell y'all, when the Pooh coming, I don't give a shit what I got, you getting it. So that's just what it is. I done ran with Pooh out, but anyway, I work out. I wear your name or something or whatever you pay for on my top when I work out. And then I wear or I write it on my body.
That's you know what? Some body paint, whatever.
Oh, you know what? Somebody might steal my idea.
You writing it down? You better hurry up and do it. Now you gotta do it.
Remember.
Okay. So I'm saying now you gotta do it.
I'm
gonna let everybody know to subscribe to your OnlyFans.
You know how? For one, let me tell you something. If I have OnlyFans, you ain't gonna know. I'm not telling anybody. I'm hoping that none of y'all have OnlyFans, and I'm probably going to do a thorough search to look for y'all, see if y'all are subscribers to OnlyFans, just to make sure that y'all don't happenstance upon. And then I'm gonna have to be covered up. I have too many identifying marks to do OnlyFans. That's my problem.
Like, see, that's me too.
I got these tattoos in these random places, and then
I had to
literally most of my tattoos, if they're not named,
right here. I'm
they're
so
the
sorry.
same tattoos that other people have. Like, I got this with someone. I got this with someone. I got both of these with someone. Like, every tattoo I got, besides my kids' names, I done got with someone. So they'll see my tattoo and be like, that looks familiar. That arm looks real familiar.
Mm-mm.
You know?
Look, I
No?
gotta find a tat person because I got space. It looks bigger up here. You see all this space?
Oh, to
I need
fill
that.
it in?
Yeah, I need that filled in with something. And
Mm.
ooh, right, all that. I'm not flexing or anything. I ain't flexing.
Not yet.
I think this one is, yeah, this one is all right.
Oh.
Anyway,
Let me tell you what's been burning my grits though this week.
what?
It has always burned my grits, and it kind of has aggravated me. But I really, really do not like the term. I don't like the idea of gentle parenting. And I know people, and it's not because it's no such thing necessarily, but because I believe that it has been misinterpreted so many ways that it just looks like what a gentle parent is someone who just lets them children get away with doing anything, and they choose not to yell and be nice, to just let the kid behave, whatever, be out of control and not be the parent who yells or whips their kid or do all these things. But in reality, the only thing that's is either abuse or not abuse. Because if you're saying gentle parenting, if you see a person and their child, acts a fool and they don't whip them, they don't scream at them, they're gentle parenting them, or are they allowing that child who's not emotionally regulated to go through what they're going through, or they're choosing to talk to them, in a way that is not screaming or belittling or cussing? That's not gentle parenting. That's not abusing your kid.
Yeah.
Even though, like, I know we grew up getting whippings. I was a parent who screamed. I was a parent who yelled, but we have to grow. We can't not see the changes. We can't see the things that how they affect our children. And you think about this. I yell at my kid for not doing something they supposed to do or whatever, right? Do I yell at strangers who are doing something? Do I yell at my boss? How many times have I been at work and someone do this? I didn't yell at them. Right. Why do I have so much control and emotional regulation to come to a common ground with a stranger, but my own flesh and blood, I scream at them? What did they gain from me screaming at them besides fear? And I know we used to be like, oh man, I'm scared of my parents. In reality, we weren't afraid of our parents in a way that, it was just, we did not like punish. We didn't like to get spankings, or we didn't like whatever. And we got real like punished. Like, I lived in households where people got cussed out in ways that you was like, damn, that's a person on the street. But even not doing that, screaming at my kids, which usually when you scream at your kids, is really not even a kid. It's usually frustration from something external, or you not doing a self-assessment of why does your child behave that way.
Right.
Like, we get so caught up in what children are supposed to listen to what we say. But you gave birth to a clean slate, and the only influence it has had is whatever you've allowed to influence it. So if that child behaves a certain way, you got to see where in that you taught or did not teach it.
Yeah.
Not, they don't ever listen. Do they not listen, or maybe they don't understand? Maybe it's your delivery, because every person ain't the same. Every person can't be screamed at. Internally, children shut down sometimes. So sometimes when a child's not doing what you tell them to do, it's because internally they've shut down. Their brain they're scared. It's just like us. It's like, why do you think that the things that adults experience, children aren't experiencing them at a level where they have no idea what's happening? And I get so annoyed with that shit, because I'm like, it's not gentle parenting. It's just you choosing to be an emotionally regulated parent, a self-aware parent, and not abusing your child. And just because you came up on such and such and you turned out good, that don't necessarily mean that's the way your child should, because it was a different era. The
Right.
environment was different. The culture was different. So some of us had to be whipped to stay in line, because we didn't have there was no room sometimes in our society for our parents, for us to get it right, because we were still walking on eggshells at a certain point and during our lives, so our parents couldn't afford for us to go out here. We weren't always gonna get it. We was gonna get a second chance, like it is now, where people are like, oh, you go in here and somebody might kill you in the streets, or this person, the police might kill you. We didn't have no chances with no one at a certain point. We still had to deal with, folks who just came from segregation, having kids, and those kids having kids, which is us. So they're traumatized,
Mhm.
and then it's us who we still got people walking around, inward, and like it's no business. I live in the South, you know what I'm saying? It's still
Yeah.
don't date outside your race, the whole ordeal. So yeah, we not saying we had to be whipped, but that's what they knew. And so they did that to us. Like, what we know to get a person to get in line right now, right away, is to whip them, which is just instilling fear in a person.
Yeah. And
Why
so
would
see,
you want genuine fear from your child to you?
mm-mm. And I didn't with my son. He might have got popped a few times, like he trying to touch,
Yeah,
touch
that
him
wasn't
or
me.
whatever. But I didn't whip him. And then so for me, I come from the mindset of, so even with our parents, our grandparents, and whatever, like my grandma, I used to have my own switch tree and everything.
Yeah,
I had to go pick my switch or whatever. My grandma, whenever I was misbehaving. But where did all that come from? It's like, how did a slave master keep the slaves in line? You know what I'm saying? From
yeah,
beating and whipping. They weren't beating and whipping their own people, not like that. You know what I'm saying? Their spouses and kids and everything else. There are abusers, and then there's, so I'm not even, that's
yeah.
a whole other thing. But
Right.
so that's why I was like, that's just not the way to go. And I know I couldn't stand being beat. I couldn't stand, like, why are you in the midst of beating you? I love you. I'm beating you because I love you. I'm doing this because I love you. Well, you're hurting me though. You're hurting me. I
Yeah.
can't even feel love right now. My skin falling off my body or whatever. But I just felt also that the same stuff you're saying. How do you act in society? I don't care if you're a male or female child. You need to learn emotional regulation. You need to learn that it's okay to express yourself, in the correct manner and everything. But how do you learn
Yeah.
that if you're not taught that at home? So then you going out here having these blow ups and everything else. And like there's sometimes when I just held everything in. And then you say one wrong thing to me, I'm gonna blow up. And
Yeah.
it's not because of that one little tiny thing you said. So you're thinking, oh, because what, you know, that's why. No, it's everything else you've done, but I was so scared to say something to you about it or whatever. So I'm like, it's
Right.
okay, it's okay, it's okay. And so it's not okay. But so yeah, that's why I didn't beat him. We're gonna talk about it. And I talked to him about everything. And even with my grandkids, I'm like, you guys aren't gonna beat them, are you? Like, let's talk, But for me, when I'm with my grandkids and stuff, that they're like something's going on, and they'll tell you like I'm angry, I'm sad, this didn't make me happy or whatever. And I'm like, why? Tell me why. If they do something wrong, why did you do that? And I don't take I don't know as an answer, just like I don't know, just to get away with it. No, why did you do whatever it was you were doing? Did you know it was wrong? Have you been told before not to do that? They say, yeah, so why are we, what's up? What are we doing? And then also telling them, giving them expectations. Like, I expect you, they were having some issues at school at first, adjusting to school and stuff. I'm like, don't go out here acting a fool. I'm like, you're smart, you're intelligent. If you need help, ask for help, but don't go out here acting a fool.
Right.
You know how to act right. You know what's right from wrong and everything, and just talk to them and stuff. And both of them done a 180.
But the reality too is that kids act up in school.
Yeah,
School is daycare. School is, you took all these developing minds and you stuck them in a building with 1 to 2 people in charge of them all the time. We might be able to sit for a couple hours. Their bodies and minds are
mm-mm.
constantly working. They're meant to be moving around, even though they need to learn. That's why children, those, and I know folks don't like homeschools and homesteads, but once I became part of the homeschool community and met all these people and saw what really go, what kind of life you can have, and how much better your children can develop if they were moving around more during the school day, like toddlers and elementary school kids. You can
Right.
teach them and allow them more movement, more outdoor environment, because that's how they're developing. But we don't do that. We have these prescribed routines that, for one, are drastically different from what they do on Saturday and Sunday or their long summer break or whenever they are. So they have two lives they have to live. And then they have everybody around them coming from a different environment. And then we have society's rules on these developing children. Remember all the rules and also sit still so you can get this information from me right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's unfair. And the crazy thing is, like, even teachers know this, but the school isn't designed for anything other than that. Because all these things I learned more between homeschooling my own child and going to college. And it was like that opened up a world for me. Like, wow, like this makes a lot more sense for, and I tell you, never want to be a teacher, but going through that changed like my outlook on so many things. It gave me so much self-awareness. It helped me understand my children better. It helped me understand people better. And then in the midst of it, I did African American Studies course for two years in a row. So I ended up reading a lot of books I wouldn't have read.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the major ones, one I loved, was The Warmth of the Other Suns.
Yeah.
And
I didn't finish it yet.
and then I have Black Man, White Coat, and that was about a guy who a black doctor back then. And there was a couple other books, but like reading those books gave me like so much more insight to my family, people around me. And I'm not saying that how people behave is okay, but it allowed me to understand where they were at in life when I was in their life and where they had, been coming from. Because you got to think, my mother is a product of someone who was in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to see her upbringing, and it's not because they're just dirt bags, but they suffered a lot, and so they brought that fear, suffering, and that fight that you had to have to survive as a Black person. And then they had children, and those children had children. And yes, as the 80s and 90s came about, 70s and 80s came about, so many laws were changing, and lives for Black people were essentially supposed to be getting better, and things were working in our favor, and we got public assistance, and we could buy homes, and it wasn't segregated or whatever. But that did not mean, even today, now that I'm an adult, are we not still dealing with the fallout from slavery? And when they abolished slavery, people still right now who have never, people are angry right now every day about slavery. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not saying they shouldn't be, but what I'm saying is the mentality hasn't stopped. It
Right.
follows us. And then we have this internal battle now where everybody wants it to go back to the old days. So, we got to just be aware of what we're expecting of these people with brains that are not fully developed, and who's their biggest influence. Because
Mm-hmm.
their biggest influence, whether we want to believe it or not, I don't care how many songs they listen to, their biggest influence is at home, and that's their parents or whoever raises them, because we know everybody don't get raised by their parents. But their
Right.
biggest influence is the family they're born into.
Yep.
So can we really blame anybody else? Like, why is it such a huge lack of just accountability in the fact that we're not gentle parents? We can choose to just be parents that do it differently, be more educated on ourselves, so that way we can know, like, do I yell at my children because they're doing something wrong, or because I'm frustrated? Or even for me, one thing people what are these rules that we have just because we was raised to clean a house on Sunday, Saturday, go to church on Sunday, do this on Monday, Tuesday? You're telling me you cannot change that in your own family? You're telling me that your children must adhere to these ironclad rules of life that did not give you a better life, did not make your life an upgrade, but you want to push them so deep and hard onto your children that they don't know how to make a decision. They don't know how to have choice, you know?
Right.
Like it's like my kid, and I know I'm really about, I like stuff being cleaned up. So I know, like, my ex used to always say that I coddle the kids. But my thing is, though, your room has to be safe. Your room can't have food in it. It can't have dirty clothes all over the floor. But does it have to be spotless? And really, why do I care if all your notebook paper all over your room? That's your space. Can you get out of here in case of a fire? Is it so bad that I should punish you? Because the thing is, too, did I teach you to clean up after yourself, or did I clean up after you and then suddenly think that because you were at a certain age, you was gonna know now that you should clean up after yourself, and that you had been watching and learning from me how to do it? Because if I cleaned your room for 5 years straight while you watch TV, who the hell was teaching you how to clean?
Right.
Or that one time when you was like, come help mommy put the toys in the toy box. So you think, oh, they know now. No, what did you teach them? Did you, and not even just teach them, but you have to teach purpose, because we're humans and humans want to know why. So why, if a child needs to know why more than an adult does? Because an adult can decide, is either this is right or this is wrong, this is life, limb, or eyesight. A child don't even know the origin story of put all your toys in the toy box as soon as you're done with them.
Right.
Because for them too, sometimes they coming back out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or they like their space that way. So, you know, I do give my kids reasoning why. Like, I tell my child, I don't really care about your room being immaculate, but I have a problem with things being a way where it can attract animals, critters. I don't want smells, you know, stuff like that. And I want it safe. My what if story has already been so in my body for so long that my children cannot block their path from their bed to their window or to their door.
Yeah.
Because we getting out of here or getting in there. You know what I'm saying? So they know if your room gonna be a mess or junky, that can't be it. And you can't have dirty clothes just in a pile. You can, but if you miss laundry day, you miss laundry day, because ain't nobody gonna be washing 10 times a week and run the water bill. But also, you just decide, do you want cockroaches in your room or not? That's all I'm saying. Because it's not me. And if it's something that's gonna infest the whole home, then yeah, you can't do it. But if you gonna have the ants, then keep it up, because eventually you'll learn whether you like ants or not. You're like, okay, you know, well, I don't like ants, so I'm gonna clean my room. Or you know, if there's a mouse, like, you know, it's just, we have to sometimes let them feel it. Sometimes we have to always teach them. But being aware as a parent, being self-aware as a parent, and really checking yourself before you even respond to them, before you answer their question, you think about, how would you want someone to respond to you not doing something? Or ask yourself, when was the last time I told a lie? When was the last time I did something to someone that, you know, when this time I didn't it's like so many things that we do that we're like, our kids, like, how can I fuss if my laundry been on my bed for 3 weeks? Just because I sleep on my couch, is it fair to my kid for me to tell my kid that room has to be immaculate? No. I'd be like, look, if you got clean laundry, put it in. If you ain't gonna hang it up, put it in the basket. But that's your only basket. So if your laundry gets out of control and it's clean in this basket, you just put it away. It just can't be spewing on the floor, because that's not safe for me. You can slip on a shirt. My brain got a lot of stories in there. So, you know, but what are we showing them? What are we teaching them? And, you know, how much respect are we having for them outside of just trying to be a disciplinarian? Because a lot of people think that their children are good because they're good parents, but no, it's because you are only an authority. You're the police to them. They live with the police all day, so they good because that's it. They don't want the punishment of the police, so that's why they behave the way they do, because you make them fear you instead of letting them know the reason and why. So once they don't have the police around them, guess what they're gonna do? Act the fuck up. That's why people be like, My Johnny would never, but Johnny couldn't wait to get from out of your goddamn youth detention center so he can go and show out at wherever,
Yeah,
establishment. We saw that in the military. Come on, you saw it.
yeah, I did.
Nobody.
I also feel like sometimes it's just a child is going to be who a child is going to be. That's a person. You know what I'm saying? They're people.
Yeah.
Um, and naturally you have your personality. You can be in a fucked up environment, fucked up parents or whatever, and just be an angel anywhere.
Yeah.
Some people are naturally like, I never wanted to get in trouble growing up or whatever, but even outside, like our house was really strict. Our house was strict, but even outside of that, it was just certain things that I just didn't want any parts of. Did I do stuff? Yeah, I did stuff or whatever. Was I a heathen? No. So I think even sometimes, regardless of what our parents do, we're gonna be who we're gonna be. I think that's why you have to know your
Yeah.
child as well. Um, and I only had one kid, and for me, he was an angel. He didn't. But honestly, he didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't have to fuss with him about certain things like schoolwork, other things. So I didn't have those issues with him. Never did. Yeah, I didn't have like big, huge issues with him as
Yeah.
well. And but he's just a good person. So sometimes you just come by people who just, regardless of whatever.
All my
But
children, even with their bullshit, were great kids.
yeah, but I've had friends who did. They were like ready to break out. And so that can look different ways. That can. So I did have some that just wanted to wild out and everything else. I just wasn't my path to do that. Now as an adult, I'm trying to wild. Nah, I ain't wilding out. But
I don't, but it's kind of like how they say I don't want nobody to be mad, but they always say the preacher kids be the worst kids. And you know
yeah,
how we was in the army and the chaplain's assistant be like, oh wow, like I don't know, I don't know about y'all because I forgot you in the army, but they used to be like talking about the people who are in those like places like the chaplain's assistant,
yeah.
um, it's just
So
like that once the authority's gone or the facade that you have to put on is gone
mm,
because it's not true to you, it's not learned behavior or it's not understood, then you're gonna stop.
yeah,
And now you out here, popping pussy on a headstand in college instead of doing your work because your parents won't let you go to a party because they scream and yell at you because you was 2 minutes late. You like it's the end of the world. You got grounded for 6 months. It was just like we're
yeah,
unreasonable sometimes with our children and our expectations of them and what. And I'm not saying like people can't whip their kids and stuff. What I'm just saying is really what my thing is. We need to just look at what we're doing. Look at ourselves and then look at what we're doing with what our children have, what behavior have they learned. Because if your child is a liar, just because you may not think that you lie to your child, have you shown your child an unreliable or untruthful, a deceitful scenario, often how to be deceitful or deceitful scenarios? Or have you taught your child that they can't trust you with the truth because you're going to mistreat them after they tell you? Because
right,
some kids lie because they don't want to get screamed at or punished or beat for telling the truth, because sometimes their truth is just that. It's just their truth. It's not even something that should be punished, but because it's different from what you wanted to do or you would do, you punish them, you
yeah,
know? And I'm like, I just want people to be more aware of it because I I focus heavily on the youth. I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people of like, oh, this is no longer my shit. This is theirs. And if we're raising anxious ass kids who their influence is they mama on TikTok, lusting over Chris Brown, and they're wondering why their child is, a kid who is hypersexual. It's all these things what we show
yeah,
them. And or if you see me out, I'm buying this and I'm doing this for myself, things that aren't necessarily household things or that had to be had. But then when my child comes and say, hey, I need trombone money, or I need track money, or I need school fee money, and it be $50, and they got to hear a long drawn out speech about how that's crazy. but they know that your kids know that them liquor bottles ain't cheap.
Right.
And all your friends ain't paying for you to get into the spot. You know what I'm saying? And that's not just women, it's men too. Y'all, everybody hit.
Yeah.
I was a parent, but the difference is we had our own paychecks, you know, we had our thing. But the difference is if our kids asked for it, we gave it to them. They can be like, look, the school need a cow. And I'd be like, oh, I'd be like, let me talk to your daddy.
Right.
And then he'd be like, where do we need to deliver this cow to? You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
it wasn't for us, it wasn't like, oh, we have the good life and don't they asked for it, we gave it to them. Because if I can spend $60 on going out to the club, I can definitely give my kids $60 to go to Jurassic Park and to eat lunch or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we show them where the level of importance on things are and where the level of importance they are, and they embody that. And then if they don't like it, they seek something different from someone else. And the first person who shows them that, they embrace it. And then some things can go great, some things can go bad. Or they embrace that same mentality. And now you have them thinking this is not important. But what is important is that I make it to the first new release of this album. I make it to the concert. I make it to get this bag that just came out. I get me a $40 Yeti cup. Like, I can't stand, I know I'm rambling. I can't, what irks my butt so much is parents who say kids is, look at you walking around with these Jordans on and this Yeti cup and this. Did they buy that?
Right.
Did they buy that? And no kid comes out the womb wanting Jordans. They don't come out the womb wanting Yeti cups. And I don't care about who bullying. If your child gets bullied at school for having what they wanted or you wanted them to have, and they come home and you decide, oh, they got bullied for having fake Jordans, and you go and you give up your rent money to buy the new Jordans, or you get society, the public to buy them Jordans. Only thing you just told them is that's you have to adjust to them.
Right.
You should adjust what you like and what we can afford to do to them. We should sacrifice our comfort, our living, our basic needs to make sure society doesn't look down on us. And then that becomes that the mean girls that's walking around saying shit about somebody's shoes. I don't care if you got jellies on with your feet sweating. They're not on my feet.
Right. And that's when that should become a lesson. Because I remember somebody had said something to my son. He was in like kindergarten, first grade, about his shoes or whatever, and they were nice shoes. So I was in the military at the time or whatever. But huh?
I said, what are those?
Yeah, whatever they said. But it became a lesson, more so a lesson, because he came home, he was like, yeah, I don't want to wear them anymore, whatever. I said, but you like them, right? Yeah. It becomes a lesson, and it is on us to, how do you turn stuff like that into a lesson? Just about self-confidence and everything else, just so you flip it around. But no, I ain't about to go buy you. Thankfully, he wasn't a Jordan head or anything like that, but I'm not gonna buy you stuff just to appease other people, and you shouldn't want to. I'm like, you got to be comfortable in what you like, what you do, and everything else. And so those are always the lessons that he had along the way and stuff. Some of the lessons that I did not receive, and I was different. Look, I was in middle school wearing penny loafers with the penny in them, my sweater vest and stuff.
I was wearing Bobos.
Yeah, and that was my thing. So even then, and yeah, I got talked about or whatever, but I don't know. I think my grandmother is the one who gave me my confidence. As quiet as I was, I had, a soft confidence about myself. But you got to turn that stuff into lessons. But you're right, it does depend on who the parent is at the end of the day, because they're going to be the ones giving the lessons. If they haven't figured it out, then
if you're telling me that we make $30,000 a year as a family of 2, 3, 4, 5, we make $30,000 a year, $40,000, $50,000 a year as a family of 2, 3, 4, 5, we make $50,000 a year, but we spend $200 on outfits, shoes and pants per person for a week's, or all the time for what? Why? And are we really wondering, what is food too high for real? Or maybe you're not living within your means. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I understand we like what we like and we buy stuff for quality, but no one can sit and, for one, we buy stuff for quality, not If you got 30,000 bags from Shein and Fashion Nova, that shit ain't for quality. All right. That is spending money, that is being consumed. That's consumerism. And I'm good for it too. Like I'm good for, well, I don't really shop like that, but I will buy something, I'll spend money on something. But are we gonna grow? Are we gonna keep lying to our children and saying, man, the world's too expensive, or the world is expensive, but also we don't live within our means. So let me show my children what something like that might look like, so they won't also have an instant gratification mentality as well. Because I gave my children an instant gratification mentality, because if they asked for it, we gave it. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, they knew that they didn't think not to expect it. They didn't have that. I'm not expecting a yes. So when no's did come around, my youngest really did start having a hard time with that. And we fussed for a while, but then I had to think about it. I really had to think, what have I shown this child?
Yeah.
This baby came, my youngest was going out to eat, not once a week, every day after school for a whole school year as a pre-K and a kindergartner. And I ain't talking about like McDonald's, no, McDonald's, Applebee's, Chili's. And this is after right after you get picked up from school. We ain't talking about dinner.
So that's not even a dinner.
This is like where you want to go to eat. And it was like, you get to go to these places after school, So it's like, and we loved it. I loved it because dad had just retired, and it was like we had not had a kid that we could spend that much time with. So his dad was able to like go to kindergarten and be like a classroom parent. And it was really awesome. And it was really great us having the freedom to do more of that. But we also had never experienced what it's like to really, we never experienced that. So it was more like a celebration. Like we treated this child like this child just, you got to think. I went to a fertility doctor for Junie, and then so many things in our life changed that this became like this child that we didn't have. It was just like, oh wow, we get to see this one, we get to hang out with it, we get to, so. And then didn't Junie born on Christmas Day? Come on now. You know what I'm saying? So it became something big very quickly. And now we got to look back sometimes and be like, we made that act like that. Yeah. When that hears no, there's a problem. But I had to realize why. Why does it have a problem? Because we didn't say no before. And if we did say no, we fixed it with something else. Like we never had consequences. And we also weren't consistent parents. We were like, after a while, it was like, what do we do with this? We ain't never done this before. This is a lot. We ain't going to work. Please let this child go do something else. So it was letting the child go hang out with friends all the time, letting the child be on the computer all the time. But then we was like, come talk to me. Why you on the computer all the time? We let you be on the computer every day for a year. Now we want you to suddenly be like, why are you on the computer? Ta-da, Yeah. And it's just, let's be fair. And I think about this just because I reflect a lot on my own parenting and my children, and I look at the experience with me and my children have, our dynamics of our relationship. So I reflect on it heavily because I try to look at, going forward. And that's all I worry about. All I think about now, like I talk to my children often about the realities, because it's some gaps in there. And I want them to know, hey, I didn't teach you these things, or this is something I've noticed about your life that I probably should have taught you about before, but let's start here. This is because that's my job. So, and my son, I want my oldest to always be learning from me, because my biggest worry is that with me and him, is that if I ever leave the world, it's just him. Like no one's obligated to him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I know he's an adult now, but I know one thing. I know, even having two absent parents, you need your parents. You need that person, and he doesn't have a grandmother. He don't have that. So it's like, without me, the world could be like, oh, we don't know him no more, and he's just on his own because no one's obligated to him. And so I'm always trying to make sure that in those rough years, the rough parents, and when me and him was growing together and I didn't teach him certain things, or what I do is I recognize things that I did teach him. and I talk to him about it. I'm like, hey, I know that, growing up, I might have, like, I used to be a screaming parent, you know. So I talk to them about that, because that's not fair. I want them to carry this on to their children. I don't want them to be like, oh, well, my mom did it. I'm telling you now, I did this. This was wrong.
Yeah.
And I have those little moments with my youngest. I have those moments with the oldest. Like, they're adults, but I still look enough at their life and try to analyze areas that, okay, all right, this is looking a lot like something that might need to be addressed in an adult way. Like, I don't baby my kids, but I talk to them like adults. I tell them straight up, the real adult conversations, because I don't know how to sugarcoat it for them. And I feel like I'm too old. Like, I ain't going nowhere no time soon. But one thing I have learned in these past 6 years, that tomorrow just may not come sometimes. So I have consistently worked on, like, once I got out of that deep funk, I consistently have been just assessing my whole life and my children, and what can I do to make sure that I'm doing all I can before I leave this world. Because I'm not saying like it happens soon, but if I'm 120, I'm still leaving them behind. That means they still should still be here. You know what I'm saying? My goal is that my idea, they all here when I go. Like, they don't
Right.
if I'm 120, they still here. So I just want to make sure that as long as they're here, any quality life of theirs that I had and have an influence on, I want to make it the best. And I want to make sure that I can't right my wrongs, but I can show them where just because you saw your mom break the law, that's not right. And I don't be like, just because I broke the law, you shouldn't break the law. I be like, you know how you saw me drinking and driving and leaving in parties and stuff? That was dangerous. That was immature. I could have done this. I give my children the gory facts. Like, you could kill a person, the stuff that I don't want to say it on here, but like, those things, because it's like, I'm gonna tell you all the things I could have done. I could have ruined your life. I could have taken our income. I could have, all the things I put in it, because I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. I set that example for you. You saw me drinking and partying with family, and we all jump in the car together and drive across town. Or me and your parent, me and the other parent, we're fighting. I don't want you to grow up thinking it's okay to fight your spouse. I don't want you to grow up thinking it's okay to fight your spouse and make up tomorrow. Like, I'm telling you, like, all of these things over the last few years, like, slowly, when I get chances to talk to them and I thought about it, I let them know, this is what happened. I know this happened and you saw this. I'm fully accountable. This is me. I apologize. We can talk about it or whatever, but this is what I should have done, and this is what could have really happened. And statistically, this is definitely what would have happened. And it only gets worse. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta think, us, like me and my ex, us getting divorced and stuff, that is more of like a look what could happen after all those things you've done, because we were in it for the long haul. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we had some really great times, but it's like we did some stuff, and it's like we did things, and I don't want my children to think that the way we behaved was okay. I don't want my daughters, I do not want my daughters to get into relationships or get into any more relationships that resemble ours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's we've already kind of been there, but I'm like, nah. And I don't want you to ever not be able to tell me. I want you to know that I know so much stuff, ain't nothing you can tell me. Because I tell my children some little raw stuff sometimes. I want them to know, don't think this is too much for me. Anything you got to tell me, it never can be too much.
Yeah.
So just tell me and be straight up. Don't beat around the bush. Just give me the goods and we'll work on it from there. I mean, I'll still commit a crime for my kids, but what I want children to know is, don't commit no crimes, and the things that you saw me doing, not necessarily crime. I wouldn't have no crime mob or nothing, but I was an immature adult. I was doing a lot of immature things, and I want them to know that was wrong. Not know, oh, I'm sorry for when y'all was kids. When you blanket that shit, you're not accountable. I'm sorry for letting you see domestic violence. I'm sorry for letting you see alcoholism, drug use. I'm sorry for letting you see mental and physical abuse. Like, I'm sorry for that. These are the actual incidents that happen, so they can put face to name. I mean, not face to name. They can put actual incidents, so they can have a visual in mind to know what I'm talking about, just in case they didn't know what it was, because they think it's right.
Yeah.
They might not call, they don't call that domestic violence because my parents did that and they was just fine. So they ain't domestic violence is when they beat them up and black their eye. No. It's sometimes it's different. Sometimes, it don't look like everybody's don't look the same.
Yeah.
And I wanted my children to know that. I don't want my daughters to meet men and those men scream at them and then they make up tomorrow. Like, no. I want him to scream at you. You call me, scream at you. You leave, scream at you. He died. Like, I want all those things. You know what I'm saying? I don't want I don't want to find out later that you have this mental illness or your health is bad or your spirit's broken because you didn't have the understanding or courage or will to walk away or know that you have 100% support. Because some people like, if my mama let my daddy beat her up, why would I call her if I'm getting my ass whooped?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If my mom and daddy screamed and did all this stuff, so why would I call them if he treat me like? And that goes for girls too. You know what I'm saying? Because my son, like I tell him all the time, like don't let no woman put their hands on you. Like you get up out of there. But we always in defense of ourselves. But you get away from there. But also, is my son gonna be a womanizer? He done got in a fight before with a woman. Not like that, but my thing is, could have been avoided if he walked away from the situation before it got heated? Like, could she have jumped on him and he had to fight back? Or if he had known that you shouldn't be arguing back and forth, that's unhealthy. That was unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we just got to be better in being better for them. Our children will only be better if we have some accountability and be better. I don't care what you think. I'm not saying that all of a sudden the world's children are going to be okay, are going to be perfect. But what I'm saying is many of the issues we face with our youth is because of our lack of self-awareness and our lack of accountability for what we have done and what we have not done. And what we're still doing, like idolizing celebrities and then our children, not expecting our children to do the same thing.
And then sometimes you grow up and on the flip side of everything, you have to take accountability. Now you know that you're an adult, and that's when therapy and everything else comes into play. Like, how am I going to do things differently?
Yeah. Even if you don't do all that, we can't read books now. We're relying on everybody to scroll the internet and tell us how to be a better person. Oh, let me buy this self-help book on how to be a better person. Bitch, really? Come on now. Sit down. What don't you like, P? What don't you like? Start with that. Like, what things in life would you just want to change? And and everybody thinks about money. We don't, just because we people are broke don't mean they have to be angry and disgruntled and sad. And I know I'm moving around crazy, but I thought I saw one of those Florida bugs in here, but it's a binder clip.
Cucaracha.
The light hit it, and I was like, I'm gonna have to bail out of here, bro.
La cucaracha.
Oh, yeah.
Coming to get you.
It was this binder clip down there.
It's blue. It's not even brown.
Yeah, it was just back there around my rug and stuff. But there's a lot of stuff down there. Quick, my in-office studio.
You're gonna be all right.
I'm good. My studio got a fridge. Everybody else's studio don't have a fridge. I got a Cricut, like silhouette. I'm just saying, this is just a better studio than everybody else's. Everybody sitting in a little empty little box with some microphones stuck to their mouth. You know what I'm saying? Mine's got flavor and pizzazz.
You don't like my microphone? Mic check one.
Mic check 1 2. I got mine right
here. 1 2.
I'm sitting in front of the window though, in front of my apartment right here, and the blinds still open. I'm like, I wonder if my neighbors be like, what does she got to say? What the fuck does she got to say? What does she got to be talking about?
Life stuff, whatever. But look, so everybody know, like, there's about to come a time when we just gonna be going live and start bringing on some other people and stuff, and have some conversation about some stuff going on. I've already talked to a few of my friends, and so you can pick a topic, try to stay on topic as much as possible.
We can do it.
when we have special guests and
Oh,
everything.
Put them
You
waves,
guys
y'all.
will definitely get to meet the my Nuckabee Buck friend. Even though I think Quimby could possibly be a Nuckabee Buck, but my Nuckabee Buck friend Jay, she's
Mhm.
still Nuckabee Buck, telling like it is or whatever.
All right.
But you know, just bringing forward other conversations, discussions, stuff that's going on, how we've dealt with stuff, and everything else. What you say to that? What you say to that?
And I didn't know what you was talking about, but I know you
Talking
said
about when we are
you
going
let
live,
everybody know that we're
girl.
gonna be going live and we're gonna be having guests. I mean, you started going on and on about like the guests, and I didn't know what you was going, so I was trying to,
Yeah, I'm talking about when we start going live and stuff. I know some
So
people
we'll be
probably
going live soon, and we will be having guests. We have probably one more loaded episode before we actually we possibly have a live event because we're working on our scheduling. So, we'll have a live event, and that'll be we'll probably go live on YouTube, right? Y'all, YouTube and Facebook. So we'll actually we can we'll record do an announcement.
Yep.
Or actually what platform to be on. And then we will have some of our other friends popping into our Yap Fest. Basically, that's what Danny's trying to say is that we got other people who sometimes, get into these 1,000 topics with us too. So we'll choose a topic and try to stay on board and bring some guests in so they can also join in the Yap Fest because
if there's like
time with it.
Yeah, if there's something that you guys want us, look, I'm just waving scissors and stuff around. If there's something that you guys want us to talk about, something you want us to expand on, whatever, then comment.
That's not religious or politics.
You said aside from what?
That's not religion or politics.
Okay, so you can sidebar me. I'll discuss the fucking politics and religion and everything because this ain't work. This ain't school.
I don't discuss religion and politics with my friends. So
yeah.
So
I need to know where you. I need to know where you stand. So, or sometimes we just can't be friends if you don't like my ass. You know what I'm saying? I need to know. I need to know who my enemies are. But we can sidebar on that one. But yeah, whatever. If there's something you want to touch up on or anything else, then let us know. Comment on the YouTube. Probably, yeah, more so YouTube. But we're also on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
Okay. I said and Facebook, yeah, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
We don't got Lemonade yet, do we?
I try to mess with it even on my personal side, and
I can't. Yeah.
Lemonade is like.
I think I reposted something in there, but it's kind of weird. So I
actually deleted it off my phone because it was starting to annoy me. So I might try again, and I don't know when. How about that? I don't know when. But
all right, y'all.
yeah.
All right, we will be going live. We will have guests. Check out all of our Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and are we doing Spotify?
Oh yeah, we're on Spotify as well. So we're dropping stuff on Spotify as well.
Our personal pages linked there. Y'all can find our personal lives there because we're just normal folks and we bring in the yap to y'all. We love to call each other and talk about life. That's how we get through it. And so we just brought it to you all. Y'all can see our personal lives for the most part. You follow those pages, but please go and follow our randomly speaking pages on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'll probably start dropping the links on here. I'll be behind. Danny be doing all the real heavy lifting, so I will add them here. We will have them next time. And until next
week, appreciate you.
Yeah, we will stay real.
Stay random.
And we'll see y'all next week.
Yes.